I need help marketing my guitar course for beginners. I have created a guitar course for beginners, and I have joined ClickBank, but so far I have had no affiliates. I don't know much about marketing, and so I wonder if anyone could point me in the right direction. How can I get people to be aware of my course? Also, is it okay if I post a link to the sales page to my course? Perhaps someone here who is experienced in marketing might be interested in some kind of arrangement. Thank you. Most of the people who take my NLP practitioner training course found me by free content I put out across the internet. SEO, I'm just starting this, but my mentor says it may take 6 months before noticing results. YouTube, paid traffic to an email list, going to local networking events and helping people for free. That's what I'm doing. I do YouTube vids and post on Facebook. I'm a guitar beginner, I'd like to see your site. What they said, Carrot, is this still your landing page? I thought this would be useful, and thread seems like a great way to plug your product. Cheers. Who's your audience? What type of genre do they want to learn to play? Acoustic or electric? I may have some ideas for you based on the answer to these questions. Hi, I do already have a YouTube channel associated with the course, and I have quite a few videos there. But if I add more, I'd be giving away the content of the course. When you say post on Facebook, how would that attract potential customers? I mean, how would people notice me? I've tried advertising there, but I didn't get any results, although it is cheaper than Google AdWords. Here's the link to my sales page. I hope it's okay to link to it. It should be okay to post the link. You've been here a while. It's really bad. I hope that my saying that might encourage some more qualified to help folks to go take a look. You're up against some really strong, much higher quality competition. I wouldn't be interested in your course for free. Sorry, it needs to be completely repackaged. Wow, is it really that bad? What is it about it that gives such a bad impression? My audience is people who have very little or no experience in playing the guitar, and who want to start learning a few songs, and who want to get a good start by learning how to play everything correctly so that they can easily learn more songs. Either acoustic or electric, and no specific genre. It's just to get people started. I haven't seen your YouTube page, but I feel that you could just put out videos like Chords to Stairway to Heaven, and you will gain more views that way. Plus, you can virtually release an unlimited amount of content. People will like your videos on just simply the chord progression videos that they may be looking for you to go more in depth about guitar just in general. That is where your offer can come in. The key with all social media, and all businesses, is to provide more value than what you are asking for in price. If you can gain enough of a viewing on how to do chord progressions on a single song, you have a perfect way to advertise your course. You can also use Instagram or Snapchat's platform to shoot short clips of you playing a song, and it will say something like "Learn how to play this song" at your YouTube channel, which will have your advertisement for your courses. All other avenues are not my strong points, so that's my 2. Now remember, you might be a good player, and even a good teacher, but that doesn't make you a good business person. Your site looks cheap, overpriced, way too complicated. I'm not qualified to guide you in fixing it. We have the talent here, but it will take the help of several folks. Product development, web design, marketing, sales, everything. Constructive criticism is not something you get very often. FLF provides. I do agree with, but I think this will make an awesome learning experience for you. I know zero on how to do any of this, but if you want to make this guitar course really successful, you will learn a hell of a lot of valuable information that you can take with you for any business venture in the future. Me personally, I would start checking out some A++ sites that sell similar courses. Figure out what they are doing differently from you. My guess is going to be a whole lot, from having a large following on some social media YouTube probably to having a sales pitch that makes it look like a no-brainer to buying their course. Being a great guitarist is great if you work at the local level. There is not a whole lot of competition. Teaching people one-on-one with private lessons. Being a great guitarist who is going up against great businessmen, who are also guitarists, and if they are only decent guitarists will be a bit more challenging. You have a base for what you want your course to be. You're already moving forward, don't stop moving forward. Keep on asking questions on the forum and I'm sure you will be happy with your progress. Here's where I spend my guitar lesson money. About $17 a month, never think about the cost. I just pop in whenever I get the itch. In another form. Riffs, chords, strum, muted. Unmuted. What does any of this mean and why would anyone care? I had a college roommate who has a bass guitar and would carry it around during the weekends. He knew a few notes that sounded pleasing but couldn't actually play anything. But did it pique the interest of the girls around campus? You bet. My cousin on the other hand, actually wanted to learn and visited a few sites that taught the material. All of which are free. He became fairly good at it, but eventually hired someone to teach him one-on-one. Just did a quick search though. There are people attracting eyeballs to their videos in the millions. Imagine if this guy had an annotation to his landing page on the video. Maybe you don't even need to give your course away. Maybe you need to go to where your customers' eyeballs are. I checked out the site after reading this comment. TBH, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, just the fact that it's mobile responsive makes it legit enough for me. A small video would make a world of difference. IMO. You're up against stiff competition, especially on ClickBank. There's tons of music tutoring offers there. Your landing page sucks, but your offer is worse. Holy hell, does your offer suck? First, I have no idea who you are. I'd pay for Kirk Hammett or someone like that to teach me how to play guitar. But who are you? Second, you're gonna teach me 6 songs for $97. Only 6 ? I can get access to tabs of pretty much every song for less. Third, the kinds of videos that you're showing already exist in some form on YouTube. 60-day guarantee, eh? In 60 days, I can learn to read tabs, a little bit of basic music theory, and watch YouTube tutorials on how to play my favorite popular hit songs of the 80s, 90s, and today. $97 for what, dude? You know what I'd pay $97 for? I'd pay $97 for you to be in my house teaching me how to play, but not for this. I might pay $17 for what you've got to offer. What's worse is that people who are interested in learning guitar usually end up looking at YouTube first. How to play Stairway to Heaven on guitar, how to play Wonderwall on guitar, stuff like that. Go back to the drawing board. Your offer is shit, and if you even got one sale, I'm surprised. If we are being honest here, I think you should offer the course, a portion or a free trial to roughly 1,000 people in exchange for feedback or a short vid of what they learned. Testimonials sell products quicker than Facebook ads. Your entire approach is beginner and it shows. It's very hard to charge top dollar for something that no one stands behind or has worked with. It's like if you came out with a Bentley or Rolls equivalent. You're not going to get any sales charging the same price as the others if no one knows anything about it. You need to put the proof in the pudding. Let them test drive it worry-free for X amount of time. If they like it, offer that used vehicle at a discount and an agreement for them to tell all of their friends about it and post pics or vids of them enjoying their new ride. Your best bet is run an ad on FB for a free trial of your product. When they sign up, let them know that at the end of each section you want feedback and a vid testimonial of their experience. There are a few websites that you can create a poll questionnaire for them to take at the end about likes and dislikes with your product. Post up the results and or use them in your ad campaigns. You gotta give away for free at first. Perfect it, repackage it, remarket it and then resell it at a high price. You're heading in the right direction, but you're trying to get across the country with one tank of gas and all your eggs in one basket. Stop and do side jobs along the way to earn your way across the country, if you get what I'm saying. It may take longer, but you're less likely to run out of steam this way. It's a lot more discouraging when no one is buying your product than it is to get feedback on how to make it better by giving it away to a very tiny fraction of your market. Getting feedback from your demographics is actually pretty exhilarating because you see people all over the world using your product and telling you what they like about it. The feedback to perfect the product is priceless and it will make you more money in the end. Jeremy, I'm actually selling physical products for guitar. It has been an exhaustive grinder for the past year and a half, but I've finally got some traction. Recently I've been getting interested in doing guitar lessons too, in order to move over into something a bit more passive. To me it sounds like you might be going too broad with the beginner audience. There's already plenty of free resources out there to learn guitar. You've got to at least give it a spin. What I've seen working well is doing niche lessons on a certain style or a compilation of songs. I recommend you check out what Rick Graham and Andy James are doing with their lesson products. Take a look at how their product is packaged and presented, what types of lessons they're offering, their pricing structures, and that sort of thing. Also, as others mentioned, you should include a video of what you can do and offer your audience. The biggest thing here is to build up your credibility as an instructor. A good way to start is with an Instagram account, since it's free and gets an okay amount of interactions. Again, check out those two guitarists and see what they're doing. They both have massive accounts with sky-high engagement. As far as your website, I think you're getting a bit too technical with it. It is good content and all, but it's overwhelming, especially if someone is just starting out. Some testimonials are missing too. They shouldn't be all too hard to get by offering a few review copies of your product. Build yourself a community on IG and reach out to other guitarists there. From my experience, the guitar community is steadily growing with so many new brands coming out every other day. The opportunities are out there. I hope that gives you a bit of insight. Feel free to message me if you have any questions. I'll be happy to share what I've picked up here and there. Word to the wise, I just recently was researching a Learn a Song type tutorial series and came across the wide and wonderful world of digital and video licensing for songs. There are some big names on YouTube getting takedown notices and accounts shut down just by doing covers without the proper licensing. Exactly what I thought. Seems like your audience is too broad. Sure, everybody can be in the market to learn, but you'll have much better results by niching it down. Specialists get paid more. Some more food for thought. What is your unique selling proposition (USP)? Why should I pay for your course if I can get everything I want for free on the internet? Example. This is my YouTube channel. How can I get more views? I haven't put links to my sales page on the videos yet, but if I can get views I would do that. You've gotten some feedback from others talking about how bad your sales page is. Focus on providing massive value first, then on monetizing plus expanding. P.S. What are more views going to do for you if everything else is out of place? Post it everywhere. Your Instagram, your Facebook, your Twitter. Post it regularly without slamming it. Build an Instagram following, post it on there a few hours later, delete the picture and post it again. And again and again and again. It takes a little while to build a following. 0 to 10,000 comes slowly, 10,000 to 50,000 comes quicker, the 50,000 to 100,000 takes about the same amount of time. After that it starts to slow down with percentage growth but still has a steady stream of growth. Jeremy. This is what has been said so far about my sales page. I don't know what that means. How is it cheap and amateurish? The cover for the course itself. Yes, I get that it looks amateurish, but the sales page? How? I think it looks great. If I knew what was meant by cheap or amateurish, I would at least be able to address that. Agreed. I guess that would help. But I don't know how I would go about doing that, and how I could get people to see my free offer. Without knowing how to get people's eyeballs in front of my page or anything I have to say, nothing can happen. I don't know what that means. It looks pretty straightforward to me. If I knew what the issue was, I could address it. Perhaps, but what is my course about? Is it about learning 6 songs? No, it's not. It's about learning how to play songs correctly on guitar, hence the title, and the 6 songs are vehicle for achieving that. The sales page does explain that. About my cover. I'm aware that it looks a bit, shall we say, homemade. But if you look at it and see the title and subtitle, and read the sales page, you can see that it's very clear what the course is about. I'm teaching people who have just started playing how to play chords properly, how to change chords, a common issue for beginners, and how to learn a song. The 6 songs are there to illustrate everything that I have to teach, as well as giving a basic repertoire to get them started. It's not about the songs. The reason why I made the course the way I did, was because when I paced up and down in my lounge wondering what a beginner on the guitar needs the most, the answer that came to me was, have something to show repertoire and be able to play songs so that they sound good, aka playing them properly. I was originally going to make it 24 songs, but I decided against that as the course would be huge, considering that I'm breaking everything down a lot. Even with 6 songs, there's 4 hours of videos and almost 300 pages. With 24 songs it would be a hell of a lot more, and that's just way too much. So I decided to streamline on the number of songs so that they can stay focused. Sometimes less is more, as long as you keep the focus on the most important things. Not to mention that the 1 or 2 months that it took me to make this course would have increased by a lot. But I should also point out that as the course progresses, I do mention other songs. I don't know what someone would think about my course if they just casually skimmed through the sales page, especially if they're not my target audience, and I'm not expecting anyone here to take the time to do so, as you probably have better things to do, and I understand that, but I would like to think that if someone who is my target audience who takes the time to go through it would understand what my course is about. And honestly, I don't think the sales page is too long or too complicated. I just don't see it. I think it says everything that's necessary, no more no less. But if there's something I'm missing, do let me know. It's just that right now I don't see a problem. Also, when I looked at other sales pages for guitar courses on ClickBank, seriously most of them suck. A lot of them don't even have the ClickBank Trusted Secure badge at the top of the page, which is a requirement by ClickBank. They're sloppy and they don't seem to have really made an effort. I think my page looks clean, clear, well organized and structured and a pleasure to look at, but again, if I'm missing something, if I'm just really biased or wishful thinking it can happen, then maybe someone could really explain what's wrong with it. As for the price, yes, maybe it's too much. But do think it's worth more than $17. Definitely. These are my thoughts on the feedback that I've had so far, and my main 2 points are that I think that I've definitely done a lot of things right, and that I don't see how my page is amateurish or complicated. Learn the principles of design. You're using many different colors. Your copy is weak. Your cover looks like it was made on Microsoft Paint. Your other cover looks like a cheesy 80s VHS. What's up with the arrows? You left the PNG checkered mark on the 60-day guarantee. That is a rookie mistake. Image sizes change way too much. Some I can't even see. Others are in my face. No proper structure. Things oscillate way too much. Sure, $97 may not be much to you, but your market determines how much it's valued at. I did a Google search and found an entire course for free that offers more than what you're offering. Again, why should I pay you $97? Finally, Really? Must I explain this part of your sales page? Your call to action is how much of my hard-earned cash do you want? Johnny, excuse me if I appear to sound harsh, but you were given constructive criticism at its finest in this thread and you're focusing on getting page views and justifying why your sales page looks amateurish. Take the advice and work upon it. Let your ego aside. We're trying to help you by showing you what's wrong and you're shifting your focus to things that don't matter. Only guitar above the fold is in your title block. Your tab graphic makes it look like you press down on the fret. Does not match the picture. What if I am left-handed? What 6 songs $97. Ha, ha, ha. Who the hell is Johnny Montoya? Google says it's a CPA. Probably a great product. Try again on the pitch. You have way too much going on with all of it. Keep it simple and straight to the point. Also, if you give away too many technical terms, what stops someone with a little extra time just Googling those terms? It needs a few vids of excited people who either looked like they enjoyed the course or actually did. This is somewhere you will spend the most money up front. If you go too cheap, the process will take a lot longer than needed and you might miss the op. Spend a few dollars and narrow down your demographics. Create a hashtag for people to use. Spend a lot of time pushing the page on social media by liking a ton of your demographics pics, tagging bigger pages so that when your demos look in the pics of XXXX it will show up. Comment on your demos pages and pics. Get your name all over people's devices. Dumb it down a little. You're writing from an experienced point of view. Imaging someone marketing a new time machine and blabbering off all of the specs with capacitor sizes and mumbo-jumbo that no one understands. That's what you're doing. You are boring people with all the techie talk and you're probably scaring off a few people by it as well. Tech talk can be overwhelming and uninviting. Your class for beginners looks like it's trying to be sold to someone with a little more than the beginner skills or understanding. You ranted a little on this. You can think you have $1 million idea and if people are only willing to pay $100 for it then you have a $100 idea. I don't remember the technical business terms for this but you have a fluctuation of a few things that you need to find harmony in. The amount you can charge for something versus the amount of people that will buy it for that price. Basically look at it like this. You have 100 people buying it for $1,000 or you can have 10,000 people buy it at $40. I would rather sell it at $40 if 10,000 people will buy it. Find the right ratio and make your money. You can only squeeze so much out of the market. I understand that you have time devoted to this and you want to cash in on your hard work, but it looks to me like you're trying to cash in a little too early and you're trying to make money too quickly. This is not an overnight success or a groundbreaking idea. It has been done time and time again. Add value to the product by making it different than others, more user-friendly, more satisfying, better support, or a tighter niche that hasn't been conquered. You have to find something to set it apart, and just because you think that you did doesn't mean that you did. I'm not trying to be mean or shoot you down, but this has been done before. Make it unique, revamp the idea or take it back to the drawing board. Prefect it, sell it, then prefect it again and again and again. Maybe offer updates for that $97. Something, anything to set it apart from the competition. Chevrolet Suburbans and Cadillac Escalades cost less than $2,000 difference to make, yet the Escalade sells for almost $40,000 more than the Suburbans. Why, you ask? It offers a certain persona. It isn't much different, but Cadillac has sold this idea of rich and wealthy with it. Create something like that, and you'll stand out. And yes, I know that GM owns both makes. It's just the best example I could think of with my tired mind right now. Haha. Jeremy. Website problems, outdated look, lacks structure, URL is bad, poor copywriting create a problem in your customer's mind, Describe in vivid detail the benefits of your service and put a picture in their mind how it will help them, then sell the solution. Lack of authority on the subject whether you are or not, only one buy button way at the bottom of the page, after the customer is likely bored of reading. No videos, I don't know who you are or what you look like. So, how much of my hard-earned cash do you want, Johnny? No, just no. Now you're just reinforcing that their money is valuable and they should think twice before making this purchase. Your website is way too logical. Specifically, you don't present any of these. For example, you could strike anxiety as in practice doesn't make perfect, practice makes permanent, triggering a fear that if they don't do it the right way, they will forever ingrain bad habits. And now, here is how my product benefits you. Your whole landing page is nothing more than a bunch of features, a slapped-on money-back guarantee that doesn't seem convincing, and a single buy button. Market problems. Who is your target audience? Why will they feel comfortable in their current stage of practice to buy your product? What if they don't feel they are even ready to tackle it? Do they have the money to purchase a $97 course, or want for such a product? Product problems. Why would I pay $97 for your product? I bought a guitar for less than that. I don't want to read 282 pages of guitar lessons to get better. You list that first, so I take that was being the bulk of your product. By the way, what the hell are we learning for songs? I can YouTube learn any song I want, so what if I don't like the songs you are teaching me? And all those illustrations, man, I am scared of them already. And there's hundreds more? Shit. Click sex. Oh, by the way, I need Windows Media Player to watch any of the videos. The most important part of your offering? I am on a Chromebook. I don't even think I can use WMP on a Chromebook. I'm out. What about Apple? Can people on Apple even watch that? Solution: create a new domain name, perhaps. Write free articles and create free videos and become an authority figure. Read Psychology of Influence and Cashvertising so that your copywriting on your landing page isn't repulsive. Have your website professionally created or rework it from scratch using something like WordPress. Pay for a premium theme plus simple logo. Rebrand the whole course so it isn't named Play Songs Correctly on Guitar. Create regular content showing off your personality and charisma as to gain followers and loyal subscribers, people who can attest for you. Make your website compelling, strike your audience's emotions, and make it easy for them to buy. Just random thoughts, tried to keep it condensed for you. Okay, so dumb it down, add a couple of videos and lower the price. I'll get to work with that. What do you think would be a reasonable price? $17? $27? I just need to mention why I've set the price at $97 so you get where I'm coming from and how I'm looking at this. A couple of years ago I bought a course about how to decide on what kind of online business to do. After I finished it, although I did get some value from it, I felt that it was overpriced. If I recall, the course had a total of 100 pages, a tiny handful of videos, most of which were not original to the author, and the one that was not very good quality, and a bunch of audios that basically went over the same points covered in the text. And it was about $130 or so, which had actually been reduced from triple that amount. And it didn't even have a fancy cover. It was overall quite mediocre. By contrast, my course has hundreds of illustrations, although in many cases one illustration consists of many individual diagrams. About 100 original videos, which are all nice and clear, and have captions. Total 4 hours, 12 PDFs, 288 pages, lots of nice diagrams, a fairly good cover, albeit amateurish, but at least it looks as professional as I could get it. And yes, it was done on Paint, so from that point of view, my course is far better. Also, with my course you get specific, instant results, as opposed to just brainstorming ideas like the course that I bought. What I'm saying is that if the course that I bought was worth $130 or triple that, originally, then by that standard, my course must be worth way more. Another way of looking at it is to consider how many face-to-face lessons it would take and cost for a beginner to learn everything that I'm teaching. From that point of view also, $97 seems very reasonable. I'm just explaining my logic. But yes, if everyone says it's too much, then I will reduce it. I'm just saying that there's a reason for everything I've done. By the way, it's unfortunate that on forums it's hard to convey tone and I don't use smileys, because I know I might come across as defensive or perhaps like I can't take criticism, but really it's not like that at all. It's just that when I don't understand or agree with something, I feel the need to say so. For me to know that something needs changing, I really need to understand why, so I can make the changes intelligently. So if I say, why does my page look cheap, it's just because I don't see how it does. I welcome all the criticism, but bear in mind that I can't allow myself to fully accept something until I really grasp it. That's why I'm always questioning. I don't want anyone to take it the wrong way when I do that, just think of it as a curious mind. And of course I do sometimes get a bit defensive. But I'm sure anyone who's spent so long on something and invested so much effort would sometimes find it hard to hear certain things. And sometimes, although I might deep down agree with someone's criticism, like the quality of my beloved cover with its beautiful purple background, it does take a while to accept it. My worst nightmare is having to change the content of the course. I hope I can earn some money from this without having to make any drastic changes. Read this. I are on the edge of getting it. They still think the first step in starting a business is to create a product. Minor league marketers view their skill set as the bottleneck for value creation. It's like they know what they need to do, but for whatever reason, can't get things to work. What do I know? What skills do I have that people would pay for? Is a question they like to ask themselves. And it's usually a stressful question, because it's focused on them, and not their market customers. Who else thinks this? Your buyers? Successfully sell this product and you'll prove us all wrong. I highly recommend starting in local with a tutoring or training or teaching offer. Classes plus upsell to one-on-one. It's a model that works well locally and can make you quite a lot of money. And give you a ton of testimonials when you relaunch this product, hopefully a more competitive version of this product, because as it stands, you're not convincing anyone. What do people want to learn guitar for? To get laid or live their rockstar dreams, mainly. A more advanced course will appeal to musicians who already know how to play guitar. You could go after that market a little better with the whole play it correctly angle. Yeah, that's how it feels. I really do think that anyone who does my course will get a lot from it. Sometimes I want to drag people off the street and make them do it. I'll read that PDF. Thanks. Well, maybe I should just give it away for free in installments, to a mailing list. And use it as a marketing tool for a more advanced course. It would be a shame if poor Johnny can't make any money from this directly though. I just keep thinking about those 9 months that it took to do this, and all the frustrations along the way. Don't scrap it, improve it. If you're as good at teaching guitar as you say you are, you would have no problem actually putting more time into building this course. You could give it away in bits and pieces. You could then upsell to Skype lessons or an interactive web class, or something. You could spend another 9 months thoroughly researching the market and seeing what else is out there, looking for ways to improve. I do hope you've actually found a starving crowd, though. Although with guitar, it shouldn't be too hard to find. The funny thing is, everyone is only saying $97 is too high of a price because of the way you present your product. If I walked you through a home which had discolorations on the wall, dog shit on the floor, dishes which weren't done, a bathroom in dire need of a remodeling, a lawn that wasn't cut, furniture which didn't go well with the living space, and it was a rainy day to boot. You are going to laugh when I have an asking price of $400,000, and likely lowball me or walk away completely. Despite the home being built in 2010, being structurally sound, in a good neighborhood, good schools, and being perfect size for a family, it just will not sell. Did I mention that no one can even find the name of the road it's on because it's way too damn long and hard to remember? Hint, your URL, your product is essentially the same exact thing. Your website is the dog shit on the floor, not literally, just throwing in a little humor here. Your copywriting is the uncut grass coupled with the rainy day outside. The lack of videos and pictures is in essence, the poor choice of furniture and layouts for the house. But we know the house is still structurally sound, and I have a feeling that you still have a very legitimate product to offer people. So what gives? At this point, the intrinsic value of your product is irrelevant. What matters is the perceived value. You have done everything you can to create something that will legitimately help someone in the right hands. That's the intrinsic value of the product. But your product has very little in way of perceived value. High intrinsic, low perceived. So let's flip it using your own example. You purchased a $130 business course which you felt cheated because it only had 100 pages of text, duplicated video, and didn't even have a fancy cover. Why? High perceived value, low intrinsic value. It seemed like it was worth it because it had a markdown from $400, is a trending topic, had something that triggered you to emotionally buy it, and it just happened to be in the right place at the right time when the right person found it. Coincidence? All you need to do is work on your perceived value, because it's obvious that you feel passionate about your course. $97 might not be too high. You could very well have a $299 product on your hands. The higher you price it though, the higher your perceived value must be. With your current website, that product is worth nothing. Not even free. If you can work on everything everyone is telling you, then you can figure out the maximum price that you can put it so that when the right person lands on it at the right time, they will have a high chance of pulling the trigger. I'll bet you that if you condense what you've been given here today down, you just got for free way more value than that course you took. P.S. If you ever want to make a quick landing page that looks amazing, I recommend this themeNo special skills needed. It's an HTML5 theme and comes with a builder.Just drag and drop, tweak it with guitar stuff, and you're good to go. So easy a caveman can do it. Except we're not very nice about it. We made Johnny here feel like he wasted his time. Which is fine. I've wasted my time on shit that wouldn't work because I was the one in the way of making it work. Sometimes it ain't just the offer, it's you. Your mindset, your ideas about what constitutes value in the marketplace, your approach to actually validating it in the market. The offer can be made good. It can be improved. It can be turned from this dog shit to something quite nice, something people would be begging to pay $97 for. I know this because there is a huge market of people out there who want to learn how to master the guitar. But Op needs to focus on whom he's trying to provide value for. Just making a guitar course won't do it. But I bet after taking on 100 guitar students with a new mindset of providing value, he'll figure out what they have in common. Why? 1 He has access to a starving crowd, and 2 He is learning the actual frustrations of students at multiple levels. Op, you'll get it right, but you gotta keep your eyes on the road. I'd have a read of this blog post, it may help you. There's even an example applicable to the guitar niche. Figure your angle that gives you a profitable CPA, and run your own traffic. There's a gold mine of other info on the DM blog as well, about customer value. So much good info here. It's almost overwhelming how much stuff can be done to improve your situation. Another suggestion is to break down that product into several smaller sections. You can then sell them a la carte for say $25 to $30 and then bundle them up for one lump sum at a discounted rate. As mentioned before, see for yourself what some successful instructors are doing. This guy is asking $20 for 20 minutes of instruction bundled with backing tracks. Don't want that lesson? Great. Here's 10 more that might interest you. It's $200 for the full package versus $275 individually. The other guitarist I came across on IG. As soon as you arrive on his page, there's a lead magnet along with a video and the USP. Lots of testimonials too. The products themselves are about $40 for say an hour or so worth of instruction. Everything looks high quality. What stuck out most from these two is there is no technical guitar jargon up front on their sales pages. There's no upstroke or downstroke charts, chord tabs, or any of that DMaj, CMaj music theory mumbo jumbo. It's just a couple paragraphs of copy on what the lesson is about, what it can do for you, and what the package includes. Simple and to the point, which it to play guitar and be awesome. Well, actually, you can't deliver enough value. This guy doesn't for free. You need a better positioning, a better product. Maybe don't do something for beginners. There are a lot of top sites for that, including the link I gave above, which is one of the best and free. I don't know your level, but in a competitive market like that, and it's not a primary desire like get laid, get paid, lose weight, you will have to be creative and listen to what people want. Here is a link to part of my course. Ignore the multiple links at the bottom of the page, I'll fix that later. Pricing: I don't think that a good course that will really do what you say it will do is overpriced at $97. As a musician and someone who pays for lessons for kids, I know for a fact that $97 is a steal if it will teach you, but the question is, does the random guy who thinks it will be cool to play the guitar know that? Anyone who has learned how to play an instrument knows that it took way longer than they thought it would to actually get there, so the random person lands on your page, and they just want to see what it will do for them. Not what it will teach them, as far as details, but what it will do for them. Like how cool of a player will they be after they've finished your course? To get them to buy, you have to convince them that your course will help them be that guitar player they've always wanted to be. And for your course to work and to get good reviews and feedback, you have to hook them on the guitar so they'll hopefully keep going with it. Website: I don't think your page is terrible, I've seen worse, haha, but it could use a lot of improvement. I'm no expert on this, but I could suggest a plugin that I use called Ultimate Landing Page for WordPress. There is a free template, but there are a bunch of premium ones for less than $40. Which is a really cheap price, considering that you will make it back twice on just one sale. You can download it here, and then just upload it. I've only been using it for a little while, so someone else may have a different suggestion. Marketing: I think YouTube is great, and I've been using it in order to build an hopefully audience for a course that I have almost completed. Not music related, but it's a big part of my plan at first. Along with SEO and Instagram. I've actually purchased guitar courses from a guy that makes videos for YouTube. He does endless covers of songs, and then if you want the details like the chords and fingerings, lyrics, etc., you can just hop over to his site and download his ebooks, which contain about 30 songs each. They aren't really like a course, but for my husband they were great since he just wanted to play the songs that he likes. So it's like that guy gives people a taste, and if they want more, they pay. PM me if you want the link to his YouTube channel, website. Last I checked, his website looked like it was made in 1995, but I still bought from him because his YouTube videos were top-notch. So I think that's a lesson, too. If you have a good, strong following, people will buy from you anyway. But that's also the catch, since you've got to build a following, which is tough. Hope this helps. Holy crap. 52 pages for one song? Sounds hard. Too hard for me. I'm sure that's what someone's thinking when they see that. Isn't that song a few chords? I feel like there's just way too much text and not enough images. Also, a video would be much easier to learn from versus an ebook. The biggest problem of any product is to get the first sale. Find out how to get the first sale and then focus on getting more of those. It's simple as that. Get feedback from beta testers. The course doesn't need to be perfect, but you need enough sales to fund further improvement. You put a lot of time into this, but now listen. Put it aside for some time. Learn marketing and sales. 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 Find some influencers on IG and run a shout out. It's not as expensive as you might think. Maybe I could market it to people who have such a hard time getting the basics right, that they need someone like me to dumb it down to the point where even a worm could understand it. Maybe that's my niche. After all, I did say in the sales page that I'm the master of dumbing things down. And if it takes 52 pages, so be it. This was never intended as a learn X number of songs type of course. It's more of a learn to play guitar the right way course. What if I create a page on my site where I put all the content from the first part of the course for free as well as the option to download the PDF, and then I promote that on Facebook, etc. Then at the end I can make an offer for the whole course for a low but reasonable price. At least once they've worked through the first part they'll know what to expect from the rest, and if it appeals to them they'll be likely to buy. The first part would effectively act as a sales page for the whole course. As much as I'd love to make $97 per sale, I'd be happy to settle for considerably less, if I can get enough customers. And besides, I can keep most of it if I'm not sharing the profit with affiliates. Maybe I can even take ClickBank out of the equation too. 52 pages is considered dumbed down? Or do you plan on dumbing down the 52 pages? No, I think 52 pages is fine. When I say dumb it down, I mean go through every step of the way, in detail, so they understand everything. For some things, it's possible to dumb it down concisely, but for something as complex as learning a song, at least for a total beginner, I think you have to really explain everything so there's no confusion. For the first song, the one that I linked to, there are a lot of things that need explaining, but for the rest of the songs, the PDFs aren't as long, because in the first song I talk about stuff that applies to all the songs, and guitar playing in general. For example, I talk about the principles involved in holding down a chord, how to make chords sound smooth, and stuff like that. The first PDF is where I explain the mechanics of playing the guitar, but for the rest, it's all about the songs only. I know it sounds like I'm making it more complicated than it needs to be, but if you just have a quick skim through the PDF of that first song you'll hopefully see that what I'm explaining is useful and necessary. Just take a look. It's long because I'm explaining everything so that it's crystal clear. I know what it's like to be confused, that's why I've taken the trouble to help others grasp everything. If anyone here wants to learn how to play the guitar, I'm sure they'll appreciate the level of detail that I go into. Anyway, there are only 14 videos for each chord change, song section. The rest is just for reading. It's not like there are a ton of exercises. Also bear in mind that this is a course that teaches how to play the guitar properly. It's not so much about the songs. Maybe the main problem here is that I haven't made it absolutely clear of the purpose of this course. I know that most courses are about either learning a load of techniques, or learning a load of songs. And some courses are just a load of everything, without focus. But this is different. It's simply a course that teaches total beginners how to play a few songs very competently, so that they can easily learn many more. It's to help them get a good start. Hence the title, Play Songs Correctly on Guitar, a beginner's guide to practicing and learning a selection of songs. I used to teach music lessons in schools and out of my house. I'm really good at teaching. In my experience, I can make one thing better: a lesson or song. 1. If I ask them to fix their vibrato, then their bow is going to be shit. If I'm asking them to fix their bow, then their left hand is going to be shit. If I give them 52 pages of things to think about, there's going to be shit in their pants. I wouldn't have had kids in my band class at the end of the year if I made the 6th grader play one song all year, and made them do it correctly. I could easily have do this. There are so many damn things that can go wrong with one note, let alone a song. But it wouldn't be fun or interesting to the students, who just wanted to play Justin Bieber on their tuba. Look, when I was in college, my lessons with my professor, that I paid $90 an hour for, were exactly what you're describing. Detailed as hell, and really picking apart everything. I could take it, because I was super advanced, and was already thinking on that level. He wrote the most comprehensive, detailed, bare-bones basic fundamentals book ever wrote for the instrument, and I bought it for $80. It sounds similar to your course. What you're marketing is a college-level class to beginners, and I'm not sure it makes sense. However, I think even that premise may be flawed, as advanced players wouldn't want to work on beginner-level music. They'd want to fix their fundamentals while still doing fun or harder stuff. I know you're passionate about this, especially because you've worked so long on it. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a good idea to continue working on it. That's called a sunk cost fallacy. Read more here. Just said 52 pages is a complete turn-off. I think so too. A beginner just wants to know how to play a song, not read 52 pages of a PDF. To approach beginners, you need to make them achieve something small, yet meaningful first. Once they have accomplished a smaller goal, they gain the motivation to pursue a larger one. And unfortunately, most of the things you're saying does not come from your potential customer's perspective, but from your own. Think that's what they want. Know what's best for them. The moment I stumbled upon this thread, I could tell that you are only focused on yourself. Your call to action was, I still had faith that with a little bit of direction you'd get it. But it doesn't look like it. Therefore, I am not going to give any more input on this thread. It's a waste of my time. Many of us have personally told you what's wrong and how to fix it. Yet you insist on doing things your way. If we tell you that the sales page needs to be fixed, you say you're going to focus on getting more YouTube views and that everything looks fine. If we tell you to dumb down the content, you assure us that 52 pages is enough and what your audience needs. I wish you the best. Good luck. P.S. Watch this. If you wanted to create a guide teaching people from scratch how to do their shoelaces, or how to fry an egg, or something like that, I don't think you'd be able to do it effectively without going into a certain amount of detail. Playing even a few simple songs on the guitar is even more complex than those tasks. Everything you've written in your post could probably be distilled into maybe 2 sentences, if you would take the time to choose the exact best words to use to make your point. But it wouldn't have the same impact or the effectiveness. I once read a book on songwriting and then I went through every paragraph and I took every fact, every point made, and rewrote it in my own words, as concisely as possible. I basically rewrote the whole book in a simple way for my own reference so that I didn't have to go through the book again. Every time I went through my notes it was like an intense hit of information. But if the book had been written in that simple form, it wouldn't have been as effective or thorough. It worked because I had already read the book, so my notes were reminders. If you have time, just skim through the PDF that I linked to. And I hope you'll see that it's really not that complicated. All I'm doing is explaining stuff. And please bear in mind that it's not meant to just be a tuition of a song. It's a tuition on how to play basic rhythm guitar, and the song is the vehicle. Having said all that, If people keep telling me that it's too much, then maybe there's something that I'm not allowing myself to accept. I'm aware of that. But right now, I genuinely do think that my course is fine. I suppose it could split it up into very small, manageable sections and have it as an email series or something. Well, that's unfortunate though, because between my responding to AMPO193 and reading your post, it all clicked. All of you are right. I get it now. My sales pages is too complicated, my course is too long, and it makes everything seem harder than it is. My call to action sounds as if I'm only thinking of myself, although in my defense, it was my way of acknowledging that their money is hard-earned and not to be taken lightly. You haven't wasted your time. It's just that I have strong convictions, and when I don't get something or I disagree, I can't just pretend that I do. Don't assume that just because I'm arguing back that it means I'm not taking everything in. I'm simply saying exactly what's on my mind. This is just a conversation, with everyone being candid. You're all being harsh and not a bad thing, and I'm being a bit defensive. Nothing wrong with any of that. No need to give up on me. You have the luxury of having some success in what you're doing, whereas I'm a nobody, and surely you must remember what it was like to struggle at the beginning. I may kick and scream a lot, but things do eventually click in my mind. There's a lot more going on than my responses. I really am thinking about what people are saying in between posts. I'm having a hard time. I feel like you've all broken me down, and although it's probably going to do me a lot of good in the long term, right now I'm just like, what the hell do I do? The thought of going back and redoing this course is dreadful. Surely there has to be a fairly simple way that I can salvage this project and make at least a bit of money from this somehow. I don't know. You overcomplicate things. What a terrible example. You don't need to effectively explain how to fry an egg. Just like you don't need to explain to a person how to play perfectly. Your course is aimed at beginners. They can't even play in the first place, let alone play perfectly. Practice makes perfect. Not reading a 52-page PDF. You're focusing on the tiny details and not the big picture. Shows how grateful you are after all the feedback plus resources plus links. Like I said, good luck. P.S. Look at your page and look at theirs. Do you understand what people are saying now? The difference between amateur and pro-looking sales pages? Read this. You need to learn marketing first. Notice how many times the word I comes up in your posts. It's never about you, it's about them. I'm not ungrateful. You misinterpreted my tone. See, this is why I rarely post on forums. It's a maze of misunderstandings. Okay, that's better. Now stop posting. Take the rest of the day and all day tomorrow to review and absorb what everyone has given you here. Come back on Thursday with your thoughts. The correct response is okay. Okay, I agree. It just seems like it though. It seems as if you completely disregard what we say and then do what you think is best. Be a little more open to suggestions from people. Maybe a lot of us who shared our thoughts here would love to learn the guitar. We openly told you our objections as to why we would never buy from you. Remember, feedback is king. You'll know exactly what your customers want if they open up their mouths. And on this thread, we've told you everything from various perspectives. Sorry if I came a bit harsh. No hard feelings. I'm really just trying to help. I know what it's like, so I can go a little overboard at times too. So I do apologize. Let me help you out on your next project. Be sure to see if people truly want what you're offering. By doing this, you'll save yourself a lot of time and money. No need to go all in for 9 months, only to realize that the marketplace doesn't quite value what you created. What you did was good. You asked for feedback from a marketing perspective. So just listen to us and implement what we told you that could be improved upon. Here, also, you can benefit by reading about Scrum and A/B split testing. Especially Scrum though. People here gave you 3 pages of feedback. Do you know how the feedback from your actual customers will look like? sales, comments. He has gotten the point. Amazing feedback this kid got from all of you. Unreal. I'm not a kid. But I'm flattered. Crap. What's crap? I'm not a kid, but I really am flattered that someone would think so. No one likes getting old. Okay, after thinking about this for 2 days, these are my thoughts and an idea. I've realized that although my course has useful information, and I explain things clearly, what I didn't understand before is that when it all adds up, the whole thing is way too academic. It's like trying to make a 2-year college course out of something that can be taught in a couple of months. It's way too drawn out, stretched to the point where it becomes a drag. I kept looking at the content and I kept thinking, this is good stuff. It's relevant, well ordered, and clear. How can it be wrong? Why wouldn't people benefit from it? Well, they would, but only if they're willing to put in as much energy as I'm demanding of them. I now understand that I'm asking too much. So, here's my idea for how to improve this course. The content of the course can be broken down into 4 aspects. Videos that are directly related to learning a song, videos that are just extras, not to do with any songs, content related to the songs, content not related to songs. Although there are quite a lot of videos, average 13 per song, they're actually quite short, 1 to 3 minutes. So, for each song, I string together all the tuition videos for that song, and make it one video. Then, I take the PDF content for that song and I squeeze it and make it as concise as possible. Then, I turn it into text that appears in the video, in between the exercises. So now each song's tuition video consists of a string of short exercises with brief explanations in between. It will probably be about 35 to 40 minutes each. Any PDF content not related to a specific song, in other words, stuff to do with playing the guitar in general, generic stuff that applies throughout, I'll squeeze it down to make it concise, and turn it into quick guides. Each song tuition video will be a separate product, maybe $3 each. There are 6 songs. I'll use the quick guides as lead magnets, but I'll also include them with each download of the song tuition videos. So now I have quick guides, free lead magnet, song 1 video 35 to 40 minutes, 3 song 2 video 35 to 40 minutes, 3 song 3 video 35 to 40 minutes, 3 song 4 video 35 to 40 minutes, 3 song 5 video 35 to 40 minutes, 3 song 6 video 35 to 40 minutes, 3. They can of course buy as few or as many as they like, in any order, because each song will also include the quick guides. The course also contains quite a lot of other general stuff that isn't really crucial, and maybe I could turn them into bonuses or alternative or extra lead magnets. And I'll not have a sales page at all, or a cover image. I think you're still on the wrong track. Here's an idea, maybe it's more in the right direction you want to fix techniques. What if you develop a resource that is a collection of beginner or medium or advanced exercises for that specific technique? Maybe forget the songs altogether, or just include a few at the end that are particularly good for working on that technique. Organize the course or site by techniques. For example, fretting section, begormed or expert exercises with video. Left hand dexterity, begormed or expert exercise sit. It seems like this drives home the real point of what you believe in more clearly. Making it about the songs muddies up what you're after. People looking for your course have a problem. They have been working on a song, and find that their 30 technique just can't cut it. They want to improve that technique. Maybe they learned it wrong and need to do it. If you have a site, with a section of 20-30 technique exercises, they might buy it for just those, and then see, oh great, other technique exercises also. Here's a great real-life example. This YouTube video is the top result for rock climbing exercises, which is what I searched when I wanted to improve my climbing. I didn't search this before I ever climbed. I climbed for 8 months, and then realized I was doing some things wrong, had muscle imbalances, was getting injured. None of that would have happened if I did it correctly first, but hell, I didn't know any better. I just wanted to climb. After watching the video, which has more than 1 million views, I paid $150 for the girl to come up with a training plan for me through her online coaching site. Hope that helps. As long as it doesn't involve making any new videos or creating any new content apart from tweaking, that sounds like a good idea. I would be quite happy to rehash my content more or less in the way that you suggest. However, in my course the tuition of the songs follows very smoothly and intuitively from the initial technique tuition, how to hold down and strum a chord, how to change chords, and it would be a shame to let the song tuition go to waste, so perhaps I could offer it as a free, totally unexpected and unmarketed or unmentioned bonus. I'm not sure how I would subdivide the technique part of the content into individual small products, and it might not even be possible, i.e. there may not be enough, but I'll certainly take a look at what I've got and see if there's a way. And if not, I could just have it as one simple product. If I do it this way, I'll definitely have to change the title. Thanks for the suggestion. I'm looking at what I've got, and the phrase "a picture or video speaks 1,000 words" referring to my illustrations and videos, but I think I need to add, and that's why I don't need to add 1,000 more. That's where I've gone wrong. I should be using the visual aspect to get most of the point across, and reduce my words to mere commentary or clarification. In fact, I should know better, as I myself am a visual learner. I guess I got carried away trying to deliver the same info in more than one way. If I do that, I'm sure I'll be able to reduce my word count considerably, and make the whole thing much more digestible for. I poked my head in here earlier to see what had changed or transpired. I was hoping and frankly excited to see some improvements on your course and your website, but there's a lot of talking and not a lot of doing. Get to it, brother. Love to see progress. Let's see what you've come up with from this conversation. Take a look at this singing course. Ken has a ton of free YouTube videos. Each one provides actual value, but he always mentions something about how his paid course goes into greater detail in each video. After viewing a whole bunch of other singing coaches' videos on YouTube, I ended up paying $300 for Ken's a few years ago. His funnel worked on me, and quite a few others, too, I might add. I'd recommend spending a bunch of time on his site and his YouTube channel figuring out what he does to get sales. I've been racking my brains trying to figure out how I would split this course up into separate, smaller products. It's impossible. Whichever way I split it, it ends up being not worth much. The only way is to have it all as one product. Or how about if I just go ahead and simplify everything, which I'm going to do anyway, and then just put all the content on my site for free, as a series of pages covering individual bits, and then on the last page I offer a lead magnet, get people on a mailing list, although I have no idea what I would email them day after day or week after week. In fact, I dread the thought. And then create another course, something more substantial and specific. Something that I could justifiably charge a reasonable amount, and then sell that instead. And then go on Twitter etc. and post bits and pieces from the free course to get followers. The majority of feedback has been about the sales page. Work on that first. I briefly read through this thread, and I saw a lot of back and forth, but I think this info can help you, and help anyone that is providing value in the information business. I attended a webinar presented by Frank Kern and wrote down everything I thought of value to selling information online. There are a few ways to market your content. Kern has it boiled down into 5 product types: liquidator, bread and butter, modulated courses, continuity, and Big Ticket Interactive.Liquidator. These are usually under $30 and take the form of ebooks, special reports, etc. They are typically used as funnels to where other sales are made. Bread and butter. These are usually multimedia PDF, video, audio niche info products that come in one package, such as how to quilt a blanket course with ebook and video tutorials. These are priced between $30 to $500. Modulated courses usually priced between $500 to $3,500. These are always multimedia and mission-specific, accomplishes a specific task. The content is usually released in packets or modules over a set period of time x. One module per week. This reduces overwhelm for customers and allows complex ideas to be digested in short periods over time. X. How to build an e-commerce or online quilting business using WordPress course continuity. These are membership sites that typically charge $10 to $300 per month. These deliver multimedia content to paid members. This can also include low-level coaching. Big Ticket Interactive usually priced between $3,500 to $100,000 or less on a monthly basis. These are live, facilitated, modulated classes, live masterminds, or high-level coaching. These always involve live interaction with you or staff. These typically are for people faced with high barriers of entry that will pay big money to solve big problems for people. This information will help refine your actual value-based product to deliver to the consumer, and how to do it. Once you know the product vehicle you will use to give value to your customers, here is how to find them. Your market must meet these three qualities in order to hit a home run: 1. Irrationally passionate, 2. Great in number, 3. Easy to reach. I feel that beginner guitar players fit all three of these qualities. Much like hunting or fishing, you need to know your target demographic to best reach them. When you nail your target demographic down, you accomplish the need commandment in. They already want to buy, you just need to get what they want in front of them. Facebook is a great tool in finding how big your market is. Using their ads manager, which is free to mess around with, you can set up a campaign and get to the audience section. From here the gem you want is detailed targeting, where you hunt demographics by typing your niche keywords and see how many people associate with them. For example, fishing has 12 million people who would be interested in buying fishing-related products. With this tool, you can keep narrowing down your demographic in order to see how big a market is in a given niche. Take a moment to write down your ideal customer. Are they male or female, or targeting both? How old are they? What type of music do they like? What kind of things do they buy for leisure? What kind of music do they like? Seriously, take a moment and put yourself in their shoes. Envision yourself as them, and write down what their ideal day would be. What excites them, motivates them, makes them happy or sad. You need to develop an intimate relation with them and understand how they think, and why they do what they do. Once you understand your ideal target audience, then you can start to know how to reach them, and how they want to be reached, and how to really get them excited about your product. You can cast a net in open waters and hope for the best, or you can decide on a specific fish. Find out what he eats, where he lives, and go there, present a lure he likes, and actually catch a trophy. Now, the details on the fundamental ways to deliver your content to your market with information-based products. There are only 4 types of web pages you need: opt-in page, sales page, order page, and a content page. Opt-in, this is where you present a free value offer to bring them to you in order to trade your free offer for their email and establish an email list. Sales page, where you present your sales letter or video. Order page, where they actually can order your product, where they go when they push the buy now button. And content page, a thank you page, articles, webinars, videos, lessons, etc. These 4 web pages are the workhorse in exchanging value for currency. This workhorse will become the machine to passively sell your products. In order to do this, we must follow these steps: 1. Build a list, offer free content, lessons on YouTube, etc. to get people to give you their email because they want what you offer them for free. You offer them value by helping solve a need, and they want to continue this to receive more help by offering a way for you to contact them to sell them stuff using the email list. But don't be spammy or needy. Offer value-based incentives. 4 ways: linear, cycling, ascending, descending. Linear: offer value, get them to opt in, then drive them to a web page to purchase or not. Cycling: if you have multiple products, try offering one product, and if no response, offer another, and repeat or try multiple passes at selling the same product. Ascending: offer free value to get opt-in. Offer liquidator product, then bread and butter product, then modulated, etc. Offer inexpensive options and continue to build and offer more expensive or more value-based options to purchase. Descending: the opposite of ascending. Offer more expensive or higher value-based items, and then lower less expensive options till they find a sweet spot they agree with and buy. Also shows them what they can look forward to purchasing down the road. The trick to making advertising work is to start small and scale. Start small with 20 to 30 ads the first day. Measure the analytics of the ad. Did they opt in? Are they opening your emails? Are they clicking on your website? Are they engaged? Did they buy? Etc. If they are, scale and monitor. If not, modify and try again. People don't buy your past, they are buying your ability to help their future. The best way you can help them is by helping their present. Offer value to help them out for free. You want to develop a relationship with your customer. If you help them out, they will begin to build trust with you or your brand. The more you help them, the more they associate you with the value you provide. It's give, pull, provide value, help others. Then, when the time is right, throw in that if they purchase your product, they can get a dense bundle of value all at once instead of desperately waiting for the next did-but. People can surf online and study for free, but time is valuable, and by saving them time, they will be willing to pay for it. It all begins with helping another person first. Help them solve a tiny problem they have right now. Then solve another, then another. After a while, you will have a bundle of problems that you can package solutions for and offer that for a price, saving people time and helping them out in a big way. Don't try to offer the ultimate all-inclusive guitar playing course. Start by offering a Learn Basic Scales in a Week course, then Learn Basic Chords in a Week course, etc. Then bundle and offer a beginner guide to chords and scales with a bit extra such as more practice drills, then scale up and offer music theory for guitarists course. Build, grow, bundle, scale. Liquidator bread and butter greater than modulated course. Down the road, once you have a large enough base and are successful with your brand, offer branded guitar kits for beginners, picks, straps, etc. Scale less than scale less than scale. It all begins with first solving one specific problem. Don't build an elephant off the bat. Build the best trunk you can, the best eyeball you can, then best tail, legs, etc. And before you know it, the best elephant you can create will create itself. The fast lane is fast money, but not easy money. Then there is social media. I have zero experience with it, but use it to validate your value to others. Start an Instagram with people posting their playing and how your product helped them get to where they are. Offer contests, offer support, but build a community where people feel welcomed and valued. They all come together because of your brand and what you offer. You are merely a facilitator to get people from where they are now to where they want to be. Part of the process is the journey. The journey is what others can relate to. With this, you don't have to create social media content, but document the journey. Document the grind, the hustle. People feel encouraged when they realize they are not alone, and see others making improvements. It motivates them, gets them more excited for your brand or product. Why do you think this forum is so successful? You won't have to think about what to deliver. Your audience will do that for you. Listen to them. Listen to their struggles and frustrations. Solve their problems. Find common problems and solve them. I am sure that if a few are struggling, others in your audience will as well. That is what you will give them. Send them solutions to problems. Tips, tricks, even humor. Build a culture-based community and it becomes easy. Then you just provide content others enjoy, that you know they will enjoy, because they will tell you what they want to receive if you listen. Great idea, man. Best of luck. I may consider embarking on it. I used to play bass. I used Guitar Pro software a lot 10 years ago lol. There's so much good criticism here. I think everything that came to my mind has been said. I will say this though. Read the book by Gary V, Jab Jab Right Hook. It will help you with delivery and building a brand around this. If you need any advice of any sort, please message me. I can help you through this. Right, here's where I'm at. I have a plan but I need opinions before I go ahead. I simplify everything into 2 short guides. I don't think I should even call them courses. 1. How to play chords properly. $2.502 How to change chords smoothly. $6.50 On my website, I create a page, or several pages, containing a load of free content, aka all the stuff that I've stripped away when simplifying. No sign up, it's just all there. Text, pictures, videos. I also make them available to download free. No sign up. Then, I have a simple sales page for the 2 guides, like this. Blah 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 blah. Download a free sample. Buy now. $2.50 This also contains all the content from the above guide. Blah 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 blah. Download a free sample. Buy now. $6.50 There will be no cover images. Just 2 very quick and simple sales pitches, one after the other. When they buy, they join my membership site, where they can access the files indefinitely and download them too if they wish. I get their email address too and they get put on my mailing list. I create a Twitter account, Facebook, etc., and I do what I have to do to get followers, likes, whatever, and then from time to time I mention my site with all the free stuff. They go there, they see the link to the sales page, they check it out, they maybe download a sample or both samples, then they buy. Then Johnny can finally say he did something with this. Does that sound like a reasonable plan? Just say yes. How much effort have you put into developing your ideal customer? You want a beginner guitar player. But there's a lot of different kinds of beginner guitar players. There's the teenage boy who wants to get laid. There's the housewife with school-aged children who is bored and wants to use her time to learn a skill. There's the 40-something dude who just bought a Strat and wants to live his youthful fantasies, but never played the guitar before. Notice how their motivations are different. Guess what else is different? Their willingness to pay. The teenage boy would rather spend his money on a cool-looking instrument than a course and is unlikely to spend it on lessons of any sort. The housewife, though, doesn't really care what her instrument looks like and wants a tutor rather than a self-guided course. The 40-something guy probably feels like he doesn't need a tutor, but might feel like a self-guided course is right up his alley. These are all guesses based on intuition, not truths, and must be tested. I don't actually know the market. I'm not saying go after the 40-something dude, I'm saying try going after all of them and see which one actually buys your course. Thinking about my ideal customer is not something that I've ever spent that much time doing. Not to say that I don't give it any thought, I certainly do, but I guess I don't go into as much detail as I ought to. It just seems like so much guesswork and speculation. I tend to think more in terms of what the person wants to learn rather than who they are, what their lifestyle is, their motivations, and so on. But you're right, this stuff really does matter. I have to get into the habit of considering it. I think maybe one reason why I have an aversion to it is because I don't know how I would find out who would buy what I have to offer. In theory, I understand the concept of testing and seeing who seems interested. But physically, what do I do? How do I put my stuff in front of enough people that I'll be able to judge the type of crowd that would be interested? If I was, for example, selling stuff in a market stall, I could do it. I'd lay out my products and observe those who buy them, and then think about who they are and offer them more things that would interest them. Or if no one buys, I'd just put out several items and see what sells and who buys them. But how do I do this online? It's hard enough to get traffic online for anything, let alone this type of research. What if only 3 people view my sales page? I can't get any info from that. Besides, I don't know who they even are or how to find out. For example, I don't know how many views I get for my ebooks on Amazon, but even if I did, I have no way of knowing anything about them. Wants to learn is one aspect. Why they want to learn it is what will convince them to buy. Who they are is what will get you to reach them. That's kind of the difference. People buy because they believe that your product will solve a problem or fill a want of theirs. Your job is to 1. Find the people who actually have this problem or want, and 2. Convince them that your solution is the thing they need, more so than any competition, more so than any substitute. Yours is the best, and you've got to convince them. What to do? You can start by buying some traffic. Google is an easy place to start. Reads posts to learn about Google. You don't have to worry about demographics there. You just need to sell your guitar course to people searching for them. Getting traffic is really, really easy. It's probably the easiest part of this entire thing. You just buy it. FCK viral marketing and SEO right now, that shit comes later. Log into Google AdWords, learn the interface, and start buying traffic according to Andy's guides. Getting the right traffic is a little harder. Converting the right traffic is even harder. Making it profitable is even harder. But it's all possible, and I think assuming the offer is good, actually helps people, and fares well against the competition that anyone can be profitable on the internet, given their funnel is good enough. Take the time and learn. Yes, it requires spend. Yes, it requires tweaking. Yes, it requires getting smacked around in the marketplace. I know the basics of AdWords. I could do that. But how can I know anything about the people who click on my page? Told you how to do it with FB ads right here in this thread. I don't think you need to break up your course. It's going to be work, but what isn't, really. But what I think you should do is keep your course as it is, and sell it for $99 or something like that. And while you are working on making a new, shorter introductory course that will be part of your sales funnel with a price point of, say, $19, you will make new free content for YouTube, etc. Eventually, you can package up some of this new free content and add some extras and sell it as another course, etc., etc., etc. To really grow an audience, you have to connect with them consistently. So stop thinking about your offering as a buy of a certain size and which part of it to give away for free and which to charge for. You have to bake more buys. That's how this is going to actually make you money. I don't know why, but it bugs me that you have the word correctly in it. I don't want to be lectured to. I want to learn how to live out my fantasy of being a rock and roll star. So it needs a snazzy name. Like 30 Days to Smooth and Sexy Chord Changes or Play Guitar Like a Rock Legend. I don't know, but just something different. You might already have this, but you should definitely have Google Analytics installed on your site. Since you don't have many visitors, it's more important than ever to learn as much as you can about those who do come to your site. And this is why you need to have more YouTube videos up, and post them regularly. You can get really good information from the video analytics, and that is a completely free way to learn about who is watching your videos. Also, read the comments on your videos and those of your competitors to see what people are saying and what you might be able to do to provide value for them. Let us know how things go. This thread has such amazing advice. Wow,